Good day, everyone. Today is August 25th, 2024. We'll continue on talking about Platform Sutra. Now we are into the chapter of the doubt. And last time it was on August 18, 2024. And at the end, we were saying that actually it's the further explanation of the translation. At that time, Bodhidharma replied, "There is no merit in them." This exchange was between Bodhidharma and Emperor Wu. "I, your disciple," which is referring to the magistrate, he said that still cannot comprehend the profound meaning behind this exchange. "So please, Master, explain to me." And that's how we end. Now let's talk about what is it that Bodhidharma referring to, the so-called merits and virtue. And also blessings. So one is the blessings, and then the other one is merit and virtue. So in general, worldly practices, seeking blessings and virtue are separate. Those who seek blessings are considered virtuous people. Therefore, this so-called blessing and virtue should be linked together, meaning that those who practice charity and good deeds are considered virtuous people. This is the common perception among people. Now, we need to know that from the perspective of Bodhidharma, these two concepts should be separated. And this involves discussing the Buddhist concepts of conventional truth and ultimate truth. Conventional truth referring to explanation that conform to common worldviews. In contrast, explanations based on the true or fundamental teachings of Buddhism are called ultimate truth. Therefore, ultimate truth is flawless and transcendent, while conventional truth is flawed and belongs to the common views of ordinary people. For ordinary people, seeking human and heavenly blessings or engaging in activities for human and heavenly blessings lead to future rewards in the human or heavenly realms. So commonly saying like, you reap what you sow, or good deeds bring good results, bad deeds bring bad results, illustrate the idea that actions lead to corresponding consequences. And these concepts are considered flawed and belong to the ordinary views of the worldly people. If you consider something as blessing and virtue, it is a false virtue. Why? It's like depositing money in the bank today and withdrawing it tomorrow. Is the money in the bank truly permanent? No, it's not. You will eventually use it up. If you can deposit and then withdraw it, naturally, you will use it up after withdrawing. If you do good deeds and receive good results in the future, once you have enjoyed the benefits, the best blessings, it's gone. Since the blessing is gone, can it still be considered virtue? Therefore, it is not ultimate. What about Dharma body? Well, the so-called true merit and virtue, is it found in the Dharma body? Well, true merit and virtue are neither born or destroyed, neither increases nor decreases, neither comes nor goes. This is true merit and virtue. Therefore, it is said that virtue resides in the Dhamma body, not in the practice of ordinary blessings and virtuous deeds. So what is the body Dharma? The Dhamma body is formless. It has no shape, yet it is omnipresent. And what are the virtues of Dhamma body? The virtues of the Dhamma body consist of 5 aspects. It is known as the 5-fold Dhamma body. These 5 aspects are precepts, concentration, wisdom, liberation, and the knowledge and the realization of liberation. Now let me repeat. The so-called Dhamma body consists of 5 aspects, and it is known as the 5-fold Dhamma body. These 5 aspects are precepts, concentration, wisdom, liberation, and the knowledge and realization of liberation. Altogether made 5. So these virtues are revealed through a person's behavior, mindset, and the experience of wisdom. They are not something concrete that can be visually perceived. One must understand that to attain liberation, one must cultivate the 3-fold training of precepts, concentration, and wisdom. And once a person achieves liberation, they will no longer seek rewards. They will understand that everything is them, yet nothing is them. Everything is themselves, yet nothing is truly themselves. And this is called the knowledge and realization of liberation. And this is the Dhamma body. And this is true virtue. And Emperor Wu of Liang Dynasty had a very limited understanding and believed that building temples, making donations, and offering meals to monks were great blessings and virtues. However, these are flawed, conditioned actions and not true virtue. Therefore, Bodhidharma wanted to enlighten Emperor Wu, but Emperor Wu was too dull to comprehend Bodhidharma's teachings. So, say for example, we have a question like this. If there were a grand offering ceremony for monks, did you contribute money to support the monks? Yes, right? Did you accumulate merit? So the question again, if there is no merit, then why did you go to make offering to the monks? If there is merit, then Emperor Wu was right and Bodhidharma was wrong, wasn't he? Just think about it a little bit. So we should think in a way the Diamond Sutra teaches. True giving is when there is actually no giving. That is true giving. True giving to monks is when there is no offering to monks. That is true offering. So what does it mean to say there's no giving, no offering to monks? It means that in your mind, you do not seek merit. You do not seek rewards. You do not seek anything. And offering to monks is simply offering to monks. You again may have a question, thinking that what about the organizers for this activity? They promoted the merit of offering to monks, saying it is great merit. So actually, does that mean are they wrong or they're not wrong? Well, we need to know that that is flawed merit, not the merit of the Dharma body. Some people make offering to monks to gain wealth or to have a smooth life. When they make offering, they make a wish, hoping that the merit of their offering will bring them certain benefits. Is this flawed merit or flawless? Are they seeking merit or seeking blessings? So up to now, we kind of understand. As long as our mind is not attached to anything, then the itself is true merit and virtue. But if our mind is, or the motivation is to have a smooth life, or to seek for some some benefits later on, then it is not true merit and virtue. Okay. Now, okay, let me continue with the translation. So the master said, there actually has no merit and virtue. Do not doubt the words of a sage. Emperor Wu's mind was wrong. He did not know the right Dharma. Building temples and giving sanction to the Sangha, practicing giving and arranging vegetarian feasts is called seeking blessings. Do not mistake blessings for merit and virtue. Merit and virtue are in the Dharma body, not in the cultivation of blessings. The master said further, seeing your own nature is merit, and equanimity is virtue. To be unobstructed in every thought, constantly seeing the true, real, wonderful function of your original nature is called merit and virtue. Inner humility is merit, and the outer practice of reverence is virtue. Your self-nature, establishing the 10,000 dharmas, is merit, and the mind substance separate from thought is virtue. Not being separate from the self-nature is merit, and the correct use of undefiled self-nature is virtue. If you seek the merit and virtue of the Dharma body, simply act according to these principles, for this is true merit and virtue. So this is part of the translation. Because Master said, there actually was no merit and virtue. Do not doubt the words of the sage. Now I'm just repeat it, so just so that you have more impression of this, to see how or what Master Huineng said. Emperor Wu's mind was wrong. He did not know the Dharma. Actually, he did not know the right Dharma. Building temples and giving sanction to the Sangha, practicing giving and arranging vegetarian feasts is called seeking blessing. Do not mistake blessing for merit and virtue. Merit and virtue are in the Dharma body, not in the cultivation of blessings. Then the master further said, seeing your own nature is merit, and equanimity is virtue. That's one. To be unobstructed in every thought, constantly seeing the true, real, wonderful function of your original nature is called merit and virtue. So, and then inner humility is merit, and the outer practice of reverence is virtue. Your self-nature establishing the 10,000 dharmas is merit. And the mind substance separate from thought is virtue. Not being separate from the self-nature is merit. And the correct use of the undefiled self-nature is virtue. So there are quite, well, at least 5 things about this merit and virtue. If you seek the merit and virtue of the Dharma body, simply act according to these principles, for this is true merit and virtue. All right. So this is again, I just repeat the translation. So let me talk a little bit more about this passages. So the 6th patriarch, Master Huineng, replied, when Patriarch Bodhidharma said there is indeed no merit, we should not doubt the words of the ancient sages. As I understand it, Emperor Wu had a mistaken view and did not understand what true Dharma is. He believed that building temples, establishing monasteries, making offerings to the 3 jewels, giving to the poor, and providing meals to monks were acts of merit. However, these are acts that seeking blessing and are not true merit. If one confuses merit with actions that seek blessing, then that is an error. So where is merit found? Merit lies within the Dharma body and not in the action that seek blessings. Emperor Wu's mind was not pure, and he did not truly understand the deeper meaning of Buddhism. That is why he asked whether there was merit. So let's discuss further what is merit and what is not merit. What does it mean to have merit and virtue? And what does it mean to lack them? So Master Huineng further explained, when we diligently cultivate and realize the Buddha nature and Dharma nature, that is merit. When we see all people, things, and phenomena as equal and the same, that is virtue. In our minds, each thought should not be obstructed by anything. When a thought passes, it should pass without leaving any attachments. When thoughts pass without hindrance, we can see our true nature. If our thoughts are hindered, we cannot see our true nature. Thus, When thoughts pass without hindrance, and we constantly see our true nature, it leads to a very flexible and free wisdom and an infinitely broad mind. This is the true function of the mind, which is called merit and virtue. Additionally, the unchanging true nature within each of us that can manifest all phenomena is merit. The ability to act from this functional essence without attachment is called virtue. And furthermore, maintaining a pure mind that never leaves its true nature, its merit. Being able to apply this pure mind in daily life without becoming attached is virtue. Therefore, if we wish to attain the Dharma body of merit and virtue, we must follow these teachings as they represent true merit and virtue. Well, from these paragraphs, we could see that according to Master Huineng, then the practice of merit and virtue is something that we should follow. But we know that it's not that easy. How do you do so that although you have thoughts, but you are not obstructed by those thoughts? And you can see for yourself that there is no attachment in your thoughts. It's not so easy, right? Moment by moment. Here is moment by moment that we could apply, we could practice this teaching from the Platform Sutra. And further on, we would talk more about this merit and virtue. Now, merit refers to the result of your efforts, the process of striving. Virtue is the response, expression, or experience gained from these efforts. And also we may have a question of what do we mean by the merit of the Dharma body? Typically, it is said that the Buddha's body consists of 3 types. One is the Dharma body, which is Dharmakaya. And the reward body, which is Sambhogakaya. Kaya means the body. And then the transformation body, and that is the Namanakaya. 3 kinds. For ordinary people as we are, we have the Dharma body and the reward body, but not the transformation body. Again, What's that mean? The Buddha's Dharma body is called the body of merit. What constitutes merit, according to what we mentioned earlier? Say, seeing the equality of all beings, its merit. Having thoughts that are free from obstructions, and constantly perceiving the wondrous function of one's true nature is merit. Having humility within and practicing propriety externally is merit. Manifesting all phenomena through one's true nature and having a mind free from thoughts is merit. And not departing from one's true nature and applying it without attachment is merit. These are the 5 aspects. And in Buddhist scriptures, the so-called Dharma body often refers to the 5-fold Dharma body, which includes precepts, concentration, wisdom, liberation, and the knowledge and realization of liberation. These are the process of and results of cultivation, and the function that arises from these results. And these 5 aspects are called the Buddha's Dharma body. Again, you may ask, does it have a physical form? No. And what about the reward body? Then the Buddha's reward body has 2 types. One is the self-benefiting reward body, and called the self-benefiting reward body, and the other is the other benefiting reward body. So the self-benefiting reward body is one that only the Buddha himself can see and experience, representing the Buddha's state. The other benefiting reward body is manifested to educate and guide saints and bodhisattvas of the first stage and above. We call it Bhumi, the first Bhumi and above. And this is the Buddha's reward body. Then we also have the Buddha's transformation body, also known as the responsive transformation body, which means application without attachment. And depending on the needs of different sentient beings, the Buddha manifests different forms to guide them. He can appear as a Buddha, a Bodhisattva, or even as various beings to teach sentient beings. Earlier, we mentioned that ordinary beings have 2 types of bodies. Two types of bodies. The Dharma body of ordinary beings is something they cannot see or know themselves. The Dharma body of ordinary beings is called the self-nature body, which inherently possesses the Buddha nature. Ordinary beings also have a reward body, which is the karmic reward body, different from the Buddha's reward body. For the Buddha, due to his wisdom and compassion, can achieve the reward body. But ordinary beings, because they have not yet cultivated or have not cultivated enough, continue to experience life after life based on the various karmic forces they have accumulated over countless past lives. And this is called the karmic reward body. There was a couple with their twins daughters. The twins looked very similar, and it was hard to tell which one was the older sister and which was the younger. However, the sisters said to each other, "My older sister is smarter than I am, or my younger sister is smarter than I am." And they joked at the mother, saying that the mother must have made a mistake during childbirth, making one of them smarter and the other less so. And the mother responded, "If it's your own fault for being less smart, don't blame me." Then, what would you say? Our teacher said, "None of you are wrong. Your mother is not wrong. The older sister is not wrong, and the younger sister is not wrong. Each of you has your own place." This means that everyone has their own fortune and karma from past actions, which leads to the present outcome. You cannot say that there was a mistake. We cannot discard our karmic retribution body unless it dies naturally. If we perceive our karmic body but despise it, we will only accumulate more and heavier karma. Some people feel that the suffering of the karmic retribution body is too much to bear and consider suicide. However, according to Buddhist teachings, if you do not endure this suffering now, you will face even more suffering in your next life. Just like how interest accumulates over a month or a lifetime. If you don't repay it in this life, it will carry over to the next life, extending the time and increasing the amount you owe, leading to greater suffering. Therefore, the karmic retribution body is a body of us ordinary people, and also known as the reward body. So, Master Huineng believed that Emperor Wu had a misguided mind, meaning that he was attached to incorrect views. which were not truly helpful for achieving liberation. Now, there is also, after hearing this talk about merit and virtue, some people may ask the question like, if that's the case, then I don't have to do any good deeds, right? Is that the right attitude? So I'll leave it for you, and you may discuss it for the breakout room.
Well,